just a couple bad weather fans representing New York, talking all things sports. Man, what could go wrong? We got Alex, who's a fan of the Knicks, and Mike of the Nets. The yin-yang of the tri-state, place your bets on the Yankees, Giants, Mets, or Jets. Yeah, you should listen if it's sparking your interest. If you made a vow to your team, don't break it. Bad weather fans is the relation.
That's right. This is Bad Weather Fans, episode number 88. Mike Biseglia, Alex Benezowitz. Brooklyn Nets losers tonight at home versus the Miami Heat. They dropped to 2-3 on the season, while the New York Knicks 3-1. They crushed the Philadelphia 76ers on the previous night. They've got a fun showdown tomorrow in Chicago versus the undefeated Bulls. And here we are. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Down in Florida, visiting some family for the week, and that's why you see this nice pool in the background. Not in New York. I didn't have to deal with your nor'easter that you guys had to deal with. That sucks for you guys. But I was sitting by the pool when that was going on. That was great. Good times. How are you?
I'm good. Your pool looks like it's a fake background. It looks like you have one of those screens up. Like I've told people on this podcast numerous times that this is one of my. I just like to go into kitchen mode. And like, here is my fridge. And this is I'm actually in a tropical rainforest right now. And I decided to go with the background of being in northern New Jersey because it's so fucking beautiful. Yeah.
No, you have such a great view out of that window too.
It actually is really nice. YouTube. It is really nice if you were to look out there. I'm not going to do it now. All right, enough about where I fucking live. It's great. It's a nice little place.
Watch us on YouTube if you want to see us. See our backgrounds on YouTube.
So
anyway,
I'm irritated after this game. I'm in a really irritated mood. The Nets dropped 2-3. They were up by 2 at the half. They had a nice run in the second quarter. Third quarter, actually get up by 7 points. And then the wheels on the bus fall off because my 1-year-old son listens to that song. And I'm saying all day long, the wheels on the bus go round and round. Fall apart. Nets get their ass kicked on the boards. They turn the ball over. They defended all right. They defended good enough. They just got crushed in the paint, couldn't do anything. And right now, this team just doesn't look good enough right now. And I think the big question, and I'll center it right away, is on James Harden. He just doesn't look the same. And these rules have impacted him. Really? I don't think they totally have. He's not the same player. He looks slow. He looks out of shape. When he gets in the paint, he's not getting those calls. I think it's affecting his mind because he's getting in there and trying to do all this new kind of shit. He's not the same player. And if you factor, like, Durant's been great. He's doing his thing. He's Kevin Durant.
He's Durant. Yeah.
But if Harden's like this and Kyrie's gone, the Nets are in serious trouble. If this is what's going to happen all season long, they're 2-3. It is a long way to go. And I will be reminded of that. And I will remind myself of that. But at this juncture, at 2-3, I'm really disappointed and not happy with the play that I've seen from this team. I'm sorry. I'm disappointed about it. And I get irritated. I think it's really, really unfortunate when other Net fans, there's a lot of Net fans that are pretty pissed off right now. And I would say a majority of them are. But this narrative, like, you can be like, relax, it's October. Yeah, I like that idea. You're probably right. But it's okay to be upset. You're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to be disappointed. We have championship aspirations on this team. The offseason ended and Kyrie Irving's not on the team. They got destroyed by the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks just kicked their butt. It was a disaster. They get the win versus Philly. I told you when I was texting with you when I was watching that game and the Nets were down to the Sixers. I was like, Alex, the Sixers, even when the Nets were trailing, I'm like, the Sixers suck. Something's off with them. We saw what the Knicks did to them the other night, which we'll talk about. And then the second half versus the Hornets, they look slow. And then what we saw here versus Miami, I might hate the Heat more than the Knicks. They are annoying. And that was just such a brutal loss for the Nets. It really pissed me off.
So who are their losses to so far?
The Hornets, the Heat, and the Bucks.
Oof, those are tough because the Nets are obviously not running away with the 1 seed this year. You know, like let's just be real. You know, unless they go on some crazy run.
Well,
right?
See, let me say,
we don't know.
I don't know. It's just
realistically, if gun to your head, you would say they're going to be in the pack, right? So these are 3 losses to the Hornets, like whatever. But the Heat and the Bucks, those are 2 losses to an opponent that you're going to be going for the term I can't think of the term, but like they're going to be going for higher in the rankings. You know what I'm saying? That
I hear
the
you.
tiebreaker is going to mean something with those teams. That those games are not just October losses. If you lost to the Kings or something like that, where it's all right, we can just take our lumps and get it together. This is going to matter because you play 3-4 games versus these teams. You need to win. Like you need these head to head. So if you're close and tight, you have that breathing room towards the end of the year. People actually act like it doesn't matter, but
I'll give you, it does. Of course it matters, but I'll give you pushback in some light. Like they're playing the Heat in game number 5 of the season. If this is what they look like in game number 77, that's a problem. And I'm not going to get into the minutia if they lose this game there and the home court switches there. It's too early, in my opinion, to get dragged into that. That'll sort itself out later down the road. The problem is they just look like shit. They're not playing good basketball. They don't look like a functioning basketball team. They look unathletic, uninspired. James Harden looks like trash right now. Kyrie Irving sitting at home. They've got problems, and it's annoying. And I do believe deep in my heart they'll sort them out, and they will get to where they need to be. But having to deal with it in real time is really frustrating. Like there is growth that needs to happen from this, and getting to see it is just so frustrating to watch it happen in real time. And for people to sit back and be like, well, it's just October, don't worry about it. Yes, you're right. I'm not going to try to get freaked out. But at the same time, when you love your team, you love your franchise, and you've been doing this for a while, and you're in your championship window, it's really frustrating when your team plays like shit.
Of course. And if you still have Kyrie, I think it's easier to be like, well, it's just October. We'll get it together. Big deal. We have the 3 of the best players in the NBA. Like, we'll be all right. But without Kyrie, kind of like it brings them back to the pack a little bit. And these do matter. These games do matter. I know it's early, and like I said, they can go on a long winning streak. And like you were saying, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't. The overall big picture, but it's one loss against these teams that you might have need the tiebreaker for in the seedings. And yes, the seedings might not matter anyway. It's based on matchups in the first round, et cetera, et cetera. I get all that, but these games do matter, especially since the Nets have not had this dynasty, like they thought they were going to have, and they haven't won any championships yet. And you need to get these championships in there in this window. And you can't just be like, well, we'll be all right. Well, we'll be all right. Well, we'll be all right. And then all of a sudden you wake up 5 years later and you didn't get anything. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to, at some point, it's got to happen. You know what I mean? You got to like these games have to matter. You can't just keep your foot off the gas and then expect to step on it in the playoffs and not get all injured again. You have to, there's some kind of, there's a level playing field there. You know what I mean? It can't be too much. It can't be too little.
Yes.
Whatever.
I totally agree with all of that. I'm just saying, like, if we're going to go into I'm more worried about this team right now and how they're building and how they're looking than worrying about the seeding versus the Heat and all of that shit that comes together. I mean, the Bucks were the 3 seed last year, won the NBA championship. The 2 previous years were the 1 seed and didn't. So there's some part of it's like, it does matter how you're playing when you get to the end of the journey into the playoffs and your team's in sync and so many other factors that have to happen. But if you're a Nets fan early on in this year, this has been bad. This has not been fun to watch. I don't want to have to watch these games. It's like their defense is better this year, but their offense last year was so elite. It was so elite. They could do whatever the fuck they wanted to teams. They can't do it right now. And it's besides just looking at points of how things are piecing together, Harden's he's not the same player, and Kyrie's not here, and that's been a problem for them. Now, on your hand, Knicks beat the shit out of the Sixers in the second half. It's a big fucking party. Obi Toppin dunks, Derrick Rose high fives, Kemba
quickly
Walker's
crossovers.
Back. Nick's Twitter is having the time of their lives. And enjoy the moment. I'm not telling you right. I've got now people tweeting me, oh, that Knicks could take the Nets in 7. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't even worry about that at this point. All I care about is the Nets getting their shit together. Go have your 3-1 parade and enjoy the time. I'm joking, Nick, but in all seriousness,
I'm smiling because I know
Knicks look good.
No, and they do. And I hate it's just 4 games thing. I know you're saying it in a nice way, but I hate the people that are on Twitter, the Nets fans on Twitter, trying to belittle the Knicks' success, being like, it's only 4 games. Everybody relax, and it's only 4 games. It's not just 4 games. They were 10 games over 500 last year in the 4 seed. Yes, they got stomped out in the first round after winning 1 game in game 2, and they were dancing in the streets. But you know what? This is a continuation from last year, and they're a better team on paper than they were last year. And the rookies from last year have grown up a little bit. And we haven't seen what we thought we'd see from RJ Barrett yet, but I think he'll be fine. And everybody's like the camaraderie is there, and the veterans know their role. They're not worried about getting more playing time. Julius Randle's like the perfect star on a team who doesn't care. He just wants to win. It's just the stars are aligning to belittle all for the Knicks. The stars are aligning for the Knicks, and to belittle all of that as to just quote unquote just 4 games is really, really insulting. And I'm just so tired of that, because give the Knicks a little respect. Like, when did the Knicks get respect? When does that happen, Mike? Like, when does that happen? I'm not saying they need to win a championship to get respect, because other teams get respect without a championship. When does that happen? They win a round, they're gonna be like, oh, they only won 1 round since 2013. It's just go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you were asking the question. I was trying to answer it, and you kept coming back.
I just kept talking.
I don't know. Is this a rhetorical thing? Am I supposed to answer it? Can I take my, my victory lap on why I'm going to put? When I said it's only 4,
not fans.
When I said it's only 4 games, I mean the same way when I say with the Nets. The Nets are 2-3. It's only 5 games. So take that with a grain of salt. But you're not 40-20, and the Nets are in 22-41. It's only that amount, because that's all we have to go with. With that being said, and I don't, you know me, I will give the Knicks respect, and I will say when they're playing well, they're playing good basketball. Of course they are. I'll say this to the high heavens. I don't like it. I hate it. It annoys me. I don't like to see them play well. I don't like to see their fans happy. I don't like to see them enjoy this moment. I don't like to see them take shots at the Nets and have fun with it and bask in their misery. It is annoying. Yes, this is all trivial stuff in the grand scheme of things. I get it. But as a fan, you understand. It's annoying. And then, with the bing bong and the bing bang and everything with that, it's like, what do you?
Stupid.
It's like
they're just having fun. Yeah,
I don't disagree
with that. It's
with
stupid
that.
in my opinion, but they're just having fun. Let them have fun.
I don't disagree with it. I think it's fun to it's camaraderie and get around. But I've said it before. It's like the Knicks fan now knows that people like to make fun of them for being high energy. So let's now take it to another level of excitement where it's like
the clout chasers. Yeah.
Yes. So it's like, yes, we won. Let's party like it's a playoff game. Okay, you're excited. I get it. I mean, if they do this, if the Knicks win every game and are that excited, I don't know. God bless you. God, that's your right. If you want to be that excited, but at the same time, don't be surprised if people are making fun of you for it.
Of course.
If you're 27 and 27 and 22 or something, 28 and 21, and it's like partying like that. I mean, that's going to come with the territory because of how bad they've been and just how, I'll put it point blank, how annoying they can be.
Yeah, no, and it's getting a little, I don't think there was any craziness after the win against the Sixers. I didn't see any, at least. And I've been saying on this podcast and in general in life that the reason why there have been such big crowds outside of the Garden is because of construction, and one entrance exit by the marquee in the front of the Garden is closed. So it's a bottleneck of people coming out. And then it just looks like this is craziness when it really is. Most than 90% of the people are just trying to get the hell out of there and go home. You know what I mean? But the 10% of the people that are doing all the dumb stuff, they're all excited and that's fine. And they're having a good time and that's great. But, at some point, you got to act like you've been there before a little bit. You don't need to dance in the streets after every single win. It's the clout chasing thing like we did when Triple M was on with us. He got the original video when they went to 500, and that was organic and that was cool and that was exciting. And like, look at the fans are excited. And now it's just getting to a point where it's just like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And then everybody's trying to go out there with their cell phones and like, hey, look at this. And then I got a viral video too. And it's just, at some point, it becomes a little corny to me, and I get it. I'm Knicks fans. I'm a Knicks fan, and I obviously, and I want my fan base to be happy, and they have a right to be happy. But at some point, like, we gotta just pump the brakes a little bit. You know what I mean? We're a good team. We don't have to dance in the streets after every win. But I also love the enthusiasm. It's kind of taking both sides of the fence, but it's not really, it's not really like a vote for Democrat or Republican thing. It's kind of I'm
an independent on this topic, Alex.
I love exactly. Thank you. I love the enthusiasm, but it's also relax a little bit. Like, just make it more organic and more natural, and also understand there's construction at the Garden. And that's the reason for the large crowd sizes. But
you got to be excited though for this Bulls game, because the Bulls,
I'm pumped up.
4-0 are perfect on the season. They've played fantastic. Knicks had the bad loss versus Orlando. No way to get around that. But I think, obviously you see the way they responded versus the Sixers, and you take away from that Julius Randle said he couldn't fall asleep till 4 a.m. Here come the Sixers in town. They're a disaster. They're a mess. And then, but the Knicks jump on them.
Took advantage of it.
They were down 3 after 1, and then that second quarter, I just steamrolled.
Never apologize for winning. Nobody should ever apologize for winning, especially against teams that are reeling. You're supposed to win those games.
Yeah, no, take advantage of it. Trust me. I mean, you and I have seen from our end as our fan bases. I've been on the other side of it and had the shit kicked out of us by teams. I get that completely. So they have that nice bounce back win, and that to me showed a lot from the Knicks team that they could rebound from that, and they clearly didn't take Orlando seriously, and they kind of fell asleep. That's the NBA, man. If you don't pay attention, I don't care what the rosters are, and people say, "Oh, it's a college roster." There's talent there, and teams can slip in wins. It can happen. But the focus to come back was impressive.
Right. Yeah. They say college roster, but you put Terrence Ross on North Carolina, they're winning. They're going undefeated. Like, so it's just like they fell asleep. I mean, they got up against the Magic, I think, in the second half. All the games are meshing together for me a little bit. They got up a little bit, and then all of a sudden they fell asleep and they couldn't hit a shot. And then the Magic were unconscious, and it just became the perfect storm, and they lost. And what I love about this Knicks team and Julius Randle in particular is that they don't take losing lightly. He's got that Kobe Mamba mentality about him, where if he loses, if he has a bad season like his first season with the Knicks, and he was the punchline of everybody wanted him out of town. Many Knicks fans. I wasn't one of them. Only when they drafted Obi, I was like, maybe get rid of him. What are we doing here? I was wrong about that. But he used that first season of getting his ass kicked and looking like the butt of all the jokes, and he busted his ass in the offseason and made himself an all-star and all-NBA second teamer, and the Knicks were the 4 seed. And then from last year, from the playoffs, that's why I'm so confident that this year, when the playoffs come around, he's going to turn it around and be great, because you know what? He couldn't sleep till 4 a.m. after losing to the Magic in game 3. Just think about that. Most NBA players would be like, yeah, well, you know what? Game 3, it's the Magic. It's a back-to-back, and we beat them the last time. It's hard to beat a team two games in a row, et cetera, et cetera. But Julius Randle's like, no, this sucks. This sucks, and I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna work better. I'm gonna be better and make myself better. And the whole team feeds off that, man. And it's exciting. Yeah. And I'm sorry that you have to see that and see the Knicks fans happy. I know it makes you upset seeing the Knicks fans happy. It really does. It makes it does. It hurts your feelings a little bit.
It doesn't hurt my feelings. It's just annoying. I don't think my feelings are hurt. It's just seeing it is annoying. I mean, I don't like. I mean, I like seeing you happy, I guess. It's fun seeing that. But I do, part of me does get kind of like gets a little joy out of this concept. Not joy is not the right word, but I know where this is going. Mm-hmm. Like, if the Nets struggle, and let's say they're 9-11, 10-10, or so, and that's what I mean by struggle. I still think Kevin Durant's that good. I'm like, let me not get this thing out of hand. It's 2-3. The Nets are going to be winning basketball games. All right. But I'd love to see the Nets like 10-10. The Knicks are 14-6, 13-7, 12-2, and it's 22. And then it starts, because I would love to see the fall. It would be even better to see it. It would be even better to know, because I know in the back pocket, Kevin Durant's the best. And from my viewpoint, out of all the teams I've ever rooted for, he's the best player I've ever rooted for in my life. And there's not even a close second in any sport I've rooted for. Football,
I guess so.
Football, baseball, like football. Eli Manning, great, but he's,
Strahan,
but
Strahan was great.
It's not like this,
but he's not like the best. Yeah,
basketball's conducive too. How it is very different. So remember that part of it.
Piazza, right? You're a Mets fan,
but it's just different level of dominance. So I know that that's in my back pocket as a fan. So part of me would be like, it would be cool if there's this struggle, and then the chirp, 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 the videos out there, people flipping off the Barclays Center, getting annoyed with everything and like putting them down just to see it. And I've done this, Alex. This is something I've done, and I learned this from you. What? So you've done this thing on Twitter, and it's gotten a lot of attention, and it's been very funny, where you are writing update and quote tweets. I have made it a point to remember certain people who listen to this podcast, and made note of some tweets.
Bookmarking tweets.
I will use your strategy down the line. So be careful. Be careful what you tweet. And if I get you, I'm blaming Alex because he is the one that installed the concept in my Nets brain.
You already got Triple M, right? With the Knicks Fans Wild In podcast. You were like, did I do it right, Knicks Central?
And I'm always going to include you. You're always
you have to. Yeah. It's
You're
all my fault, of course.
Because there's a lot of them out there. Like, oh, I can't wait. I understand the overexcitement. Just as I'm in as I'm in the downside, I could see why the Knicks are in the upside. So I can't. If you are clowning a Knicks fan for being that excited, it's the same reason you feel that upset when your team's playing like shit. You're jealous.
Yeah, no, it is. And that's the thing that I think we're what's great about this podcast with me and you and why we get along so well. And sometimes people say we should disagree a little more to make it a little more fun. But I think we're just very level-headed where we are in tune with who we are as people. I understand there's a Knicks Nets rivalry. I understand I hate the Nets. I'm in tune with myself. You're in tune with yourself that you hate the Knicks, and this is it. You want them to lose every single game. But you know what? We're not in denial like some Nets fans are in denial about, oh, we don't care about who runs the city, quote unquote. Like, yes, you do. Like, you tweet about it all the time. You care about attendance. Like, Evan Roberts is tweeting Dolan J. Trump about attendance. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you guys care too. Like, don't act like you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do. You guys all care. We both care. We both are going to compare everything from now on, because as long as we're both still good, as long as both the Knicks and the Nets are still good, we're going to compare everything because it's a rivalry. It's a regional rivalry. It's not an on-court rivalry yet, but it's a regional rivalry like the Mets and the Yankees. And that's just what it is. And just admit it.
I don't understand. So I don't understand Nick Wright. Okay. I don't know. I know you're looking at me like to bring him up, but he really hates the Nets and then kind of dislikes the Knicks at the same time.
I think it's a Kyrie thing. Phenomenon. I think it's a Kyrie thing. He's a big LeBron guy, and I think it might be the Kyrie thing. That's just my thoughts. Yeah,
I bring it up because it's like this weird phenomenon where he's gets unbelievable attention based on these tweets, and he's going out to make the Nets look bad, and it's just a weird thing to do for somebody that's paid a lot of money to be on national TV. It strikes me as bizarre.
Right.
Like, why?
Which one are you referring to? Which point? Which
all of these
set you up?
Like the one about attendance that he did. He's like, oh, there's Nets tickets
$7.
In the last row on a Monday night, or whatever versus Washington. I get it's opening night. Yes, it's first of all, it's like pointing out that it's like, I don't quite understand. Okay, yeah, those were cheap tickets. Those were available. Why do you fucking care?
Yeah, no, that's weird. For him, that's weird. I get a Knicks fan poking fun. It is what it is. And there's a lot going on right now with the vaccines and non-vaccine. People can't go to games, and it's not, there's no way that these Knicks games wouldn't be sold out if everybody can go. And you know what? The last game, it wasn't sold out. It was close. The Sixers game, it wasn't fully sold out, but it was also in the middle of a nor'easter, on top of the vaccination thing. There's less people that can go. Also, the people who are vaccinated, some people are just too scared to go into big crowds. Sure. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's that level. We always just think in terms of how we feel, and I'm vaccinated personally, and I'm not afraid to go into large crowds without a mask because I'm vaccinated. I feel comfortable. That's just me and my personal opinion. But I also have friends and family that are terrified. They're vaccinated and they're waiting for their booster, or they have their booster and they're still terrified to go into the large gatherings. So why would they put themselves at risk for a Knicks game? You know what I'm saying? Right. They would put themselves at risk for a wedding, for a big event, their first birthday party, a Nets Wizards game, obviously. But there's. That's just life, and that's just what it is right now, and it's hard to pick apart teams for attendance right now. I think it's kind of, not the right time. The timing's off for that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And just to use that to your advantage to gain clout. And I hate bringing him up because it's just giving him more attention. But something about it struck me as bizarre. Is it what is this anger coming from that you want to strike down on these Net fans? And I will say, I've said it. I think the Nets I think their fan base is growing. It's a smaller fan base, but I would say from all the Net fans that I have met from Twitter and interacted with, we're really good fans that really care about this team and love this organization and want to see them do well and have been waiting and waiting and waiting for the good moments. Again, just brings me back to why I'm so disappointed with a 2-3 record. And now we go into a Friday game versus the Indiana Pacers, which is another tough basketball game. Winnable, but it's another tough basketball game. But that's all of them there. That'll actually be my first. I'm going Friday, Alex.
That's exciting.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good seats,
really excited. Right? Good. I think we're going to a suite.
Mm-hmm. That's exciting, man.
Only the best. So
the Nets only play Eastern Conference teams, man. That's all that's been happening. They've only been playing the game
homestand.
Oh, so it's all that's.
Well, I don't know if that means that, but so far, that's just the way. That's just the way it's been so far for the Nets. They've got all these home games. And they got to start racking up some wins, man. Get some W's.
All the games count. All the games count. And don't just, this is, you're going to take this the wrong way, of course, but who cares? Don't just think that just because you have Kevin Durant that you're guaranteed anything. Look at the Warriors with Steph Curry the last couple of years. He was healthy and they didn't do anything. They obviously didn't have James Harden too, but just because you have one or two players does not mean that you're guaranteed anything. So just, you start off slow, all of a sudden it's 3-4 months into the season and you're still starting off slow. It's not a start off anymore. It's just what the team is, and then you need this big miracle run. Don't assume you're going to get the miracle run.
Well, that's what's scary, Alex.
Yeah. That's the thing you get. Other fans don't get that. I don't think.
Well, what if, in the back of my head, I'm like, James Harden will figure this out. He has to. He's too good. He was so good last year. He was in the conversation to be the MVP, and then he has this hamstring thing. Then he comes back a little bit more out of shape, and the new rule. He's the poster boy for the new rule.
He is.
Really is.
Him and Steph.
It's unbelievable that you could go from 9-point-something free throws a game to 3. They're making an effort. Like that is not a small drop off. That is a huge drop off. And I've watched every second of these things. He's not getting these calls that he used to, and then he's getting spooked the way he's playing, and he's making weird decisions. And right now, the chemistry is off between them. I agree. There's no guarantee. You just flip a switch and you get there. There's no such thing as that. It doesn't exist. And now the big wild card is, and I've kind of forgotten about him, and it's weird because it's like, well, what if Kyrie does show up? Like the amount of energy, right? The amount of energy. If we got a breaking news here. Kyrie Irving decides to get vaccinated or the mandate changes, the whole atmosphere, it changes. They have an
ready for the back page
that can score, that the new rules wouldn't affect him. It'd be unbelievable.
It's true. And you're ready for the back page after Kyrie gets the shot? He gets the shot?
Knicks win by 6
heard round. Oh, you fucked me up, man. I said the shot heard around the world. That would be the front page everywhere. Shot heard around the world. Anyway,
no, it'd be on the very top, and then below it,
it'd be like
Knicks lose by 72 to the Pistons. What the hell happened?
No, it's all good. It's all good. They're both corny jokes, so it's fine that we stepped on each other. But it's cool, man. It's exciting that both teams are good, man. It really is. I know. Not only helps this podcast, which is really exciting for both of us and for our fans. And thanks for all listening. We'll keep growing like dramatically, and I really appreciate all your support for real. It's exciting because New York basketball is back, man. And I tweeted out a story which was 100% true. I wouldn't lie about this. I'm walking the dog after the Knicks opening game win versus Celtics in double overtime. It's like the next morning, like mid-after, actually probably like lunchtime-ish. Walking the dog and wearing a Knicks t-shirt because I'm all excited and just want to wear it. And I live in Manhattan. And I'm walking the dog, and some random guy just walks by and goes, "Nice day to wear that, huh?" And I said, "Oh man, it," something like that. And he goes, "Yeah, man." We both like, yeah. And we just like kept it moving. We're just both like, it's just like some random man, like in his 50s, just like stopping me on the street, commenting on my Knicks shirt, like "Let's go Knicks" kind of feel. You know what I mean? Like that is so cool, and that's not something that we get a lot. But the Knicks, something about the Knicks that brings the city together. I know the Nets have a really good piece of the pie now, and I'm not denying that. But there's something about the Knicks that brings the city together and makes them feel the joy. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it's because they were the only team in town forever.
Exactly.
And it was.
Exactly.
I feel I'm a broken record with this, but if you're new to the podcast, it'll be new to you. The Knicks in New York are like the Steelers in Pittsburgh, are like
really it is. Yep.
It's like the Browns in Cleveland,
the Ravens, whatever.
But
yeah,
you know what it is? It's because
yeah.
there was never a second team, and I think that's very unique for this city. And I'm not going to deny it. The New Jersey Nets were not the New York Knicks. We had Kerry Kittles on this podcast a couple of weeks back, and he said on there yeah, you could feel the difference. It was tangible, and that's why we like to beat. And I think that's kind of like where my mindset is like Kerry's, Alex. He's like, yeah, we knew we weren't as popular. We knew people didn't care. It's like it's why we like to beat the shit out of them. And that's my feelings. Now I'm not on the team and I can't shoot 3-pointers and stuff.
Yeah, but you're a fan. You're a diehard fan. You're part of the team. You bleed. Nets colors more than the players do, and you'll do it. You did it before they were there, and you'll do it after they were there. So you're just as part of the team as they are. So just wanted to help you out there.
When Durant leaves, I'm gone. When Durant's gone, I'm gone.
That's it. A lot of fans will be gone when he's gone. And it is crazy, man. Back to the rule change with the Harden stuff, and it really was a big deal for Harden. The certain players, it's like Steph Curry, Harden, Trae Young, Embiid, even to a certain extent. They're always just looking for fouls, and it's so corny. It really is, just ruins the flow of a game. And you ever see the joke highlight film for Harden with the Rockets when he was traded to the Nets? Like, here's Harden's highlight film. It's just him shooting free throws. It's just it's boring. Nobody wants to see that. And I do. And you do when he's on your team. Yeah, I do. On your team. Yeah, who cares how he scores? Yeah, of course. But it's really interesting how that's changed the NBA. But it'd be really interesting. These guys are so good. They're going to adapt. They're going to find other ways to get to the line. Harden and Steph and even Trae, they're that good that they're good enough to get to the line. They're good enough to figure it out and score in other ways. It's just they see adjustment period, man. It's just how it always is.
You want to know why that's even more frustrating? Is that the guy that the Nets have that's not playing right now doesn't need that to be a great scorer. Seriously, like Kyrie Irving wasn't the guy that wasn't his game. His game was use his handles, use his quickness, create open space for himself, make 16-footers because no one could guard him, and then create that 1 to 2 feet of separation, get to the hoop, and a great finisher, legit fouls around that.
Amazing finisher.
I'm just like, I've kind of talked myself out of like Kyrie's not part of it, and now
he doesn't exist. Yeah, he doesn't exist.
If he's there, he's somewhere there, and it's just so annoying.
The pressure is going to mount for him if the Nets, let's say, start off 7-10.
That's not happening. 8 and 9. Don't do me that.
Okay, whatever it is, if it's not good, and it happens, and then the pressure is going to mount. People are going to start bringing up Kyrie again. Right now, nobody cares.
Yeah, no,
he's just in the background. Sure. They'll figure it out. It's only 4 games, whatever. But if these losses continue to mount, and even if they're not 2-20, like, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but let's say they're just not, they're middle of the pack team. Yeah, they're going to be like, hey, Kyrie, like, dude, like, we built this team with you in mind. Now this team doesn't make sense. Where the hell are you? Can you just get this shot? And I do think the Nets will make trades if Kyrie really is not coming back, which I don't think he is. I really do think the Nets are not done. This is not going to be the final roster at the end of the season of what it is now. That's for damn sure.
No, that's
they've already shown this work. Robin Lopez. We talked about that the other day on
Terrence Ross.
Via text. Yeah, Terrence Ross, Robin Lopez will be on the Nets.
Terrence Ross would be a nice net.
He would be. That's the kind of perfect guy they need. And even Robin Lopez, because they need, guys who can rebound. I
agree.
Whatever. I'm not crying for you, so that's all right.
As you shouldn't. As you should not. All right.
I'm just excited, man. Kemba Walker has looked good, and I'm excited that Obi Toppin looks like a player. I'm just Mitchell Robinson too. Did you see that? Did you watch the game, the Sixers game? There was one offensive rebound.
I couldn't watch the Love Fest.
Well, there was one offensive rebound where it seemed like it was impossible for anybody to. It was just easy defensive rebound. You're just watching and your eyes are trained to go. All of a sudden, Mitch just taps the ball, like jumps over the guy's head, gets the rebound, gives it over swings the ball, gets the top of it for the dunk. And I tweeted out Mitch's offensive rebound was more incredible than Obi's dunk because, that kind of play, that's a free 2 points that you don't have last year in the playoffs, because he wasn't there. You don't have that towards the end of the season because he wasn't there. And they still went on that incredible run to get to the 4 seed without him. Now they have him and he's got muscle and he's healthy for now, hopefully he stays that way. and Kemba looks good, and Derrick Rose looks good, and it's exciting time, man. It just really is, and I can't gush more about the Knicks, and I just will. It's just I'm excited. I was listening to Boomer and Gio the other day, and he made a good point. As a Knicks fan, I'm looking forward to every Knicks game like it's a football game. Like it's a football game and my team is in a playoff run. I'm looking forward to every single Knicks game like it's Sunday at 1:00 and I need to be locked in appointment television. I'm in Florida right now visiting family and I'm locked in watching it. It helps that my family loves basketball and my brother-in-law, especially Zach, he loves basketball. We're watching, every game together every day. But, I normally if I'm in Florida and the Knicks are playing, I'm like, I'm on vacation, kind of a thing. I'll watch it. I'll follow what happens. I'll catch a few plays here. If I can watch it, I will, but I'm not going to be like, hey, dinner's over. Let's put the game on. I'm not, running to the TV. So it's just an exciting time to be a Knicks fan and just embrace that and just enjoy that, Knicks fans. Just try to enjoy the moment because, and I tweeted this out recently at Knicks Central, that it wasn't that long ago that we were the Magic. What the Magic are right now, a mess. Just injuries and young players, mismatched veterans, and just everybody's out for themselves. It's so nice. And I'm sorry I'm rambling, but I'm just excited, and I want people to just really, really embrace the moment. It's rare that we get this, and it looks like it can last, but there's a good chance that it's just as good a chance that it doesn't. So just try to enjoy it.
You don't have to apologize for getting on your soapbox and giving praise to your boys. Don't apologize for that. Embrace it. And don't remind me though. And don't, I don't want to hear, well, if Mitch was healthy in the playoffs, you're preaching to the wrong guy about that. I'll tell you that.
No, I know. I'm not saying that it would have made that big of a difference, but it could have made a difference. It definitely could have. And you're going to tell me, well, Cam Reddish was hurt. You're going to tell me other things that could have happened, of course. But right. You know what? Capella isn't dominating the boards the way he did if Mitchell Robinson is healthy with Noel. It was just Noel by himself in that series, and that's all I'm saying. That it would have made a difference.
Oh, I know it would. But my point to
I'm not saying they would have won this series. They wouldn't have just went down like with a without a whimper after
I'm
the
just
game
saying, if I'm not going to feel sympathetic.
Oh, no. Staying healthy is part of it.
And Harden go down,
part of it.
And then having the injury police remind me about it. I'm just saying it's part of the game, and I've accepted that after the annoyance I saw in Brooklyn against the Bucks, and then in Milwaukee.
And the Bucks aren't apologizing for winning a championship. No. The Nets fans are like, oh well, if it wasn't for the injuries, we would have won. Well, guess what? You got hurt, so we'll never know. And the Bucks beat the Hawks and the Suns. It wasn't
that's
like
my point.
Played you in the finals. Yeah, exactly. So
that's my point.
It is what it is.
So don't tell me about Mitch. Don't tell me that. That's not my point.
Mitch.
No,
that's my dad's name too, by the way. So it's funny. It's funny watching these games with my dad and be like, "Oh, Mitch is really crushing it." He's like, "Thanks," all the time. So
my dad's name is not Kevin, so I can't do anything like that.
So anyway,
talk about basketball. It's funny because when we were doing these in the summer, we would talk about random stuff that would come up here and there, and now it's like there's all this actual basketball news to talk about. It's kind of weird.
Well, it's also football is dead. I know the Giants had a win.
Good win.
They play the Chiefs. I can see the Chiefs bouncing back in a big way, but you never know. They might be broken. But the Jets are done, and they trade for Flacco after not having a veteran quarterback because Zach Wilson's hurt, and that's just a mess. And the Mets can't hire an executive. It's just the Yankees are nothing right now. But
the encouraging part of the Giants was Daniel Jones is starting to look like a quarterback. And they have weapons. They are depleted. I love when people say, I'm not making an excuse, but let me say this. I'm going to make an excuse. Like, hell yeah, I'm going to make an excuse. They have nobody playing. When you're missing Tony, Barkley, Galladay, it's like
It's not
Thomas.
Like the typical every team has it. Yeah, it's not the typical every NFL team has injuries. This is like that's a lot. That's like every starter that you.
Yeah, I'm feeling more optimistic.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Good for you.
Sam Darnold. Woof.
He stinks. Woof. There was that one interception to the goal line where he threw it. There was nobody there. Like, where are you throwing the ball?
How did he start off so great? Is losing McCaffrey that big of a deal? I guess. Yeah.
Totally. The dump downs, that was so easy, and move the ball and he's okay. Darnold's okay. It's just the Jets really ruined him. I really believe that quarterbacks can get ruined. And that you can get gun shy, and now he's got the happy feet and it's just he's done. He's just gonna be an average quarterback, Same thing. Well, I don't think Geno Smith would have ever been that good, but he's got the happy feet too. He's finally getting another chance, and he's still Geno Smith. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Nobody cares about Geno Smith anymore, but that's another story.
All right, let's get to we got our poll question. We have another winner in FanDuel. Let's just get this out of the way. So nobody's joining us this week because bro won again.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Life's a breeze. At Life's a breeze, he won again. I asked if he wanted to do a quick rant, but he works nights. He couldn't come on the show. We're gonna get him on eventually. But yeah, go ahead. Yes, it is amazing.
It's just amazing. He won again. So back-to-back weeks, we don't have a guest on because the guy that's winning isn't available. But good luck to everybody else, and continued success. This is what I want to find some accumulation of who the overall winner is at the end of the week. So just keep that in the back of your mind for all the math that we'll be doing at some point. But congrats again on back-to-back victories, and I'm waiting for our Knicks Nets conversation.
Yes, looking forward to it. He's a good dude. Okay, so poll question. I do a weekly Knicks poll question at Knicks Central on Twitter. Follow me, please. So Knicks fans, are you worried about Julius Randle or other starters playing late in blowouts? Yes, protect them. No, we are not soft. C, depends on the situation. Or D, who cares? Keep winning.
It's C, depends on the situation.
Yeah, and after I hit send, I was like, I shouldn't have put that. Everybody's going to put that. Depends on the situation. Yeah. But it didn't win by a landslide. 44.2%. 19.6% said yes, protect them. 18.3% said no, we are not soft, and 17.8% said who cares, keep winning.
Well, there comes a point where you got to be smart. You don't just play guys to the ground. Let's be real. If Coach Tom Thibodeau has done an incredible job with the Knicks, but Coach Tom Thibodeau has a track record of getting to the playoffs and having guys burned out. Okay, this is not me shitting on the Knicks. I was in favor of them signing him. I thought it was a good idea, but I'm just being honest. They get to a certain point and they burn out. So I would personally, I know, we're not soft. We play every possession hard. There comes a point if you are going to get to a level where you think you can compete like that, I would be a little more inclined to take the foot off the gas for certain moments, because it's shown in Thibodeau's track record. There's times where it gets to a certain level and then the L's start coming in big spots. So you got to be careful.
Right. And you're not even implying that you're okay with rest games. You're more saying from the standpoint of if it's a blowout, maybe let them sit for a little bit more. If it's a game, that's not, that crazy, or, just in certain situations, play him 32 minutes instead of 38 one night, something like that, something like that. And I get that. I'm just not worried about it. I'm just play and win and just see what happens.
I'm just saying there's a track record of when they get there.
For sure.
So just be wary of that. That's all.
For sure. And then, I can give you the outlier, which it's either the exception to the rule or it's just not a real rule, is Jimmy Butler. He's never, he was fine on both Tibbs teams, on the Bulls and the Wolves. He was fine. So, and he's still an all-star and he's crushing it with the Heat, so what do we know?
Well, so I'm not even just talking about I guess because of the poll question, a player.
Yeah,
I'm just saying too, it's from a team standpoint, there's an ebb and flow to making sure when you get to that part. They didn't look good versus Atlanta. If that was the matchup, if that was the Mitch injury, whatever, it all came together. Julius Randle was not the same player he was in the regular season. There is something to be said of it's okay if your regular season's not quite as good if you're ready for the playoffs. And I'm not saying that Randall's going to miss 20 games, but this pride factor of saying he played 81 out of 82 and then feeling good about it, and then him going to the playoffs and being that bad, I'd rather say, hey, he played 73 games and he won us a series. I think long-term, that's more exciting to me as a fan than going on there and banging your chest because you quote unquote are out there every night. I don't know. It's about trying to win. So if you could make some changes, I'm not saying all of them, but that wouldn't be the end of the world.
A little less minutes a night, I think, is a better compromise than having the rest games. You know what I mean? That's just me. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope it doesn't happen again, but maybe that's the reason why Harden used to falter in the playoffs every year, because he'd play every game, 82 games, 40 minutes a night. And it was great. He was great for fantasy. When I had him one year, I won my last championship that I had with that 1 year with the Rockets when he was getting triple doubles. But you know what? We'll see what happens. Just let it play out. So some fan shout outs to the poll question. So we have our boy at Boodalicious. He goes, a little concerned. We have an excellent bench. Why not take advantage of this? So that's a good point. Then let's see. We have our boy Coonies is back, Mike. Coonies is back.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
At Kunal ____. He was off Twitter for a little bit, but he's back. He's a great listener of ours, and he's a cool dude. We always tweet with each other. He goes, depends. Not worried he'll run out of gas. A freak injury in garbage time would be indefensible. Risk isn't worth it. Give the rookies some 3 minutes in blowouts. Some like 3 minutes or so in blowouts.
Yeah, blowouts. I mean, a blowout to me it's called garbage time. You got to put guys in to get experience. There's no reason to play your stars then, winning or losing.
Yeah,
well, they need to work something out. That's
true. Well, we'll see if he does that in game 40 or 50. I mean, right now it's game 2 or 3, so he's still trying to get the guys going. If he's still playing guys in blowouts and it's down the road and they're slowing down, we'll see how that goes. Okay, then we have Sam McQuillan. He's at Sam_McQuill. He says, I'd like to see the younger guys get burned when there's the opportunity. So he's saying the same thing as Coonies. It's a good point. I mean, let's see. Who else do we have?
That's true.
Smart TLO. He's at Smart TLO. Mitch is the only one I care about, he says. So it's only Mitch all the time. Prime. He's at Jets Prime. If we are up 20 with 5 minutes left, he shouldn't be in the game. The one knack on Tibbs. It's the one knack I had on Tibbs I have. Let's see. See if I can get one that's on the other side of the fence. Here we go. At Crim_Ghost. Let them play. That was punishment for the Detroit game. They want to rest, play better. And then he was like Orlando game. He meant to say Orlando. He wrote the star Orlando game. My bad. So Tibbs is punishing them for losing to Orlando. So he's making them play more in the Sixers game.
Could be true.
He's the kind of crazy person that would do that, after a game, go run a practice. Like, you guys sucked. Now go get on the bike and run practice. Yeah. Run, do sprints.
I wouldn't be stunned. Wouldn't be. No, I also am the guy too. That's like when you're up 21 with 6:02. No, I'm never the comfortable guy. I don't know.
Not in the NBA.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get comfortable. The last I was comfortable Nets Bucks game 2 when they went up like 59. I feel okay. Not that it mattered, but whatever.
I think we got this one. Yeah. All right. So that's a poll question for today. So you want to do the jersey number trivia?
Yeah, I'll let you. Let me let you explain it, and we'll just do this moving forward because you do a much better job explaining it than I do.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So jersey number trivia. We started in the beginning of the podcast. I don't remember what episode it was, but basically, let's say it was episode 20. I'd pick a random Nets number 20 and have Mike try to guess it, and then he'd pick a random Knicks number 20 and I'd try to guess it, and we'd give each other clues. But now we're in episode number 88, and while there is no 88, we now have Dolan J. Trump, our president, at Dolan_J_Trump, who sponsors it, and he gives us clues to read to each other. So he gave me a Nets clue to read to Mike, and Mike has a Knicks clue to read to me. So Mike, who wants to go first?
I'll read to you first today. There is a net with a number 95 this season. So when we get there, just so you know,
you'll know it.
I will know.
Is there an 88? No.
I don't believe 88. There is an 88. Was Deshaun Stevenson an 88 or something like that? Some weird number. Also, shout out to Dolan J. Trump. Check him out. He has merchandise, the Kemba Walker shirt and beanie. So check that on out. If you're a Knick fan and you want to get some Knick merch, check on out the Kemba shirt and the beanie, and Dolan J. Trump, who's now best friends with the Nets owner. You can find that on Twitter. That is not a joke.
That is not a fake picture. That was really him there. And
the face was fake. That's not. Well,
the face is fake.
Not. Sorry.
We know the real guy, and he sent us the real picture. And trust us, that was a real picture of him and Josiah.
That is so.
He
wild.
Actually got to meet him. It's just crazy.
It's
crazy where Twitter brings you, Mike.
It really does. And then also, like, could you imagine if that was his real face? It was Donald Trump and James Dolan. That's an ugly
Walked around that mask. He should
I'm sorry,
get
you're
that
ugly.
Oh, Halloween. He should have done
no.
that Halloween masks of Dolan J. Trump Halloween masks. He
Oh
messed
my
up,
God.
man.
We both came on with him. Did the whole episode. I couldn't do that.
My God.
I'd be laughing the whole time.
I'd put it on for the Jersey
this
trivia.
Thing to you.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Let's see. Yep.
He wore number 31 for the Knicks during the 2004-2005 season.
Jerome James.
Yep. No.
Oh. No?
Nope.
Oh.
He played for I don't know why I said that. It's not him.
Yeah, I was like, I got excited. I'm like, oh,
he
wow.
Played for 4 different teams during his career. He does these, by the way, to me. I did not get this. I've been on a huge slump. I think there's people behind the scenes like DMing you how dumb I am with these. I think that's going on.
He's starting to get us obscure players because we were crushing him on the regular players like that we actually know. So he's giving us like more and more obscure players. Go ahead.
He played for 4 different teams during his 9-year career: the Knicks, the Pistons, the Raptors, and the Chicago Bulls.
I think we did this one already. But Moochie Norris?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
He appeared in 79 games. There's a but, though, Alex.
But
only started 4 of them in the front court.
Started 4 in the front court. 31. What year was this?
This was the year 2004 and 2005.
Is that Mark Jackson?
It is not.
Oh, damn.
Front court.
He came back and he was 31 when he came back because somebody had 13.
He was drafted 26 overall by the Pistons in 1996.
Oh, Pistons. That was stupid. That couldn't have been Mark Jackson, the Pistons.
Oh,
what pick was he?
26.
96? 26? In the 96 draft. Pistons. Go ahead.
Known for his rebounding prowess, he averaged just under 4 boards for the Knicks, albeit he only played 15 minutes per game.
Pistons. Okay, is that the last one?
No, I got one more.
Okay, go one more, and then maybe repeat.
He attended the same university as Patrick Ewing Jr.
So Georgetown or Indiana? Which one? Went to 2. So Georgetown is probably what it was.
I played in a game against Patrick Ewing Jr. once.
Did you?
He was in our JCC league.
Oh, you told me that. Yeah,
he was there.
Okay, let's read these. Read the clues one more time from the top. Just go through it.
He wore number 31 for the Knicks during the 04-05 season. He played for 4 different teams during his 9-year career: the Knicks, the Pistons, the Raptors, and the Bulls. He appeared in 79 games, but only started 4 of them in the front court. He was drafted 26 overall by the Pistons in the 1996 draft. Known for his rebounding, that word's been annoying. Known for his rebounding prowess, he averaged just under 4 boards for the Knicks, albeit he only played in 15 minutes per game. And one final note from Dolan: he attended the same university as Patrick Ewing Jr.
Oh my God.
Would you like to phone a friend? And don't call me.
God, killing me. So he was a flex player. He started 3 games in the front court. Such a weird clue. So Pistons. So he played most for the Pistons, right?
I don't know.
Well, he's drafted by the Pistons. He's drafted by the Pistons.
I don't know.
Should I know this? Do you think I should know this, or do you think it's a tough one?
When you hear it, you go, but yeah, tough. I couldn't get it. All right, we there yet?
I want to get it so bad.
I know you do, but at some point I got to go to bed.
Yeah. Go ahead. Who was
Jerome James.
It was Jerome James.
No,
I said it.
Jerome Williams.
Yes. Jerome Williams.
That's why when you said Jerome at first, I said yes, because my brain went too fast, and then I was like, no, I'm kidding.
The Pistons. See, the Pistons didn't click with me, and that's the problem.
Those were those Grand Hill jerseys.
Yeah, the Raptors probably. If I thought him as a Raptor, I think might have clicked with me. But
that was a good one. The Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, and he like worked for MSG. I think after that.
Did he really?
They actually amnestied him instead of Allen Houston when they had the amnesty, which didn't make any sense because they loved Allen Houston.
I missed the amnesty. Oh my God.
Yeah. They got the amnesty and everyone was excited that they were going to use it on Houston, even though they loved Houston, but it was just, he's hurt and he's got this giant contract and the Knicks used it on Jerome Williams instead. So there's that little tidbit. Oh yeah. So now I got to read to you. I'm just like, okay,
I'm not getting it anyway. Let's move on. It's
this is a tough one.
Let's hopefully went to the New Jersey Nets. Enough of the Brooklyn Nets for me. Come on, man.
Oh, it's Brooklyn.
Oh.
It's Brooklyn. Okay. He wore number 27 from 2010 to 2012. His only 2 years with the Nets.
Petro.
Got it.
Johan
What's the
Petro.
first name? There you go. You got it. Look at you.
Oh, thank God.
You're like exhaling.
I've been worried about
let me read the rest
of the. I've had some high level shit to deal with at work, but this is what I've been worried about. All right, let's hear the rest of the clues.
The rest of the clues, just because he put a lot of work.
The 27 stood out to me, and he wore the 27 clicked in my head.
Mostly a reserve who appeared in 136 games with the team. He started 10 games up during the second season with the team, averaging 4 points and 4 boards. He played for 4 teams during his 8-year career: the Nets, Nuggets, Hawks, and Sonics. He was drafted in the first round of the 2005 draft by Seattle, but did not attend an American university. He was acquired via free agency and was ultimately part of the deal for half of the Nets' Brooklyn backcourt. He has something in common with Ronnie Turioff. And that's it. I don't know what he has in common
with Ronnie Turioff.
Is he French? Is he French?
I'm looking him up.
Both French, probably what it is.
Yeah. So his seasons with the Nets were. He was with the New Jersey Nets, right? When did the Nets move to Brooklyn? 2010, 12.
Oh, so he was New Jersey. Why did I think it was
I got it.
Brooklyn?
I can't get Brooklyn.
When did they move to Brooklyn?
I don't remember. The hell do I care? They should still be in Jersey. That's the way it should be. I don't remember. What is the year?
You're a real fan because you were in Jersey. Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's whatever that year was.
Damn it. I'm so mad.
What, that you didn't get it and I did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he really 31? Why do I feel like Jerome
Double check it, man.
Yeah, no, I don't trust this.
I thought, well, he got the one name wrong last week or 2 weeks ago.
He's not perfect. No, he was 31. He's right.
What did he get wrong? The name? It was, I don't know.
It's Daniel instead of something. I don't know.
Nets came to Brooklyn 2012. Yeah, so it's right around there. If there was, yeah,
2012. Yeah, that's probably why I got confused. But he was 13 with the Raptors, so that's probably where I thought the 13 in there.
There you go. Yeah. All right, Dolan, anyway. I got your back. Buy his shirts. Buy his shirt.
Get his stuff.
We don't care, but I would, whatever, if you want it.
And please subscribe, download everything. Give us thumbs up on YouTube, everything. We have some fun things coming. It was supposed to be this week, but I'm actually in Florida, so we couldn't do it. But next week, hopefully we're going to have our fun surprises on this show.
We got cool people lined up to join us. I think you'll get a kick out of them. I think you'll really like them. It'll be cool.
Yes.
Bad Weather Fans, episode number 88. Do you ever find yourself, Alex, in the shower while you're taking your hand and just cleaning yourself to be like singing the theme song?
To Go New York, Go New York, Go.
No, the Bad Weather Fans, not that stupid song. You're like, hey, let me
Bad
take
Weather
some soap.
Fans is the relation.
You ever do that while you're cleaning your body?
No, but there was one point when we first got the song going from Snotty Nose, rapper who did the song. I listened to it a few times in a row to memorize it. So because you have to know your own theme song. You can't not know your own theme song. And yes, by the way, this is a blow up unicorn over here behind me.
Already time.
So, it's not Porzingis because of Porzingis. It's just my brother-in-law, Zach, thought it would be funny to keep the unicorn in the background while I did a Knicks and Nets podcast. And other New York sports too. So that's why it's there.
Bad Weather Fans, episode number 88 is, as Alex alluded to, Apple, Spotify. Give us a 5-star download. You know the deal. If you're watching on the video side of things, put it on your TV. Tweet us. You know what I'd like to see? Tweet us photos of you watching the show, and we'll retweet it. I think that'd be kind of dope. At Nick Central, at Mike Delivers Pod. We're at basically the very last second of this podcast, so we'll see who gets all the way to the end too. Probably should have thought of that in the beginning, and maybe I'll do that moving forward as I'm thinking on the fly. Alex, thank you as always. Always enjoy us talking together, and I'll talk to you next week when the Knicks are 4-2. 1.
When they are 10-1. Thank
Goodbye.
you.